I'd like to welcome to stage Yawn85 from STEPN. This is a move to earn game now. We've had them here at Grape on stage before. Metaverse Explorer did actually cover them. He did an interview with them as well. He's done an extra couple of videos. So I'll go and get a link to Metaverse once I've said hello to Yawn. And I've got some links as well. I'll send some more on the channel, but I've got some links from my own YouTube where I've done a lot of the beta testing and actually put up some information regarding the game. So there's information there to check. Morning, Yawn. Would you like to introduce yourself to stage and just say a little bit about STEPN?
Sure, thank you. So STEPN is a move-to-earn game on mobile devices, also utilizing a NFT asset basically, and can is retrieval on Magic Eden, and we will put the beta tomorrow. So by tomorrow, people can download that through Google or the Apple test flight, and then they need to upload or transfer their NFT sneakers to the game, and then they can basically start. It's a simple app. We want to tag, say, the people that don't play games or people that don't understand how blockchain works. So it's designed in a way that's really simple to use. People won't see many signals that say this is a crypto game until they accumulate over a certain amount of money. Then we'll ask them to back up the wallet.
Yeah, super important there. What you've just mentioned about having the wallet. So this is something important that people need to work out. We're going to be onboarding millions of new users into crypto and gaming, specifically Web3. These apps are all going to come out, but people are going to have absolutely no idea how to use crypto. So it's awesome that you guys have got a wallet that people can use to start off with. And you've mentioned other things there as well. As the open beta goes tomorrow. So when are people able to download the new app that's coming out for that?
We are debating do it in the this which is 21st in Australia, or on the 20th. The game is already to have a few announcements made. Once we make an announcement. So by tomorrow morning, I'll know exactly when we're going to release the game.
Yeah, perfect. So you must be pretty excited about that. That's a lot of hard work. Do you want to talk about a little bit of the beta testing that you guys had with getting the numbers and the metrics right? Obviously, it's a game that's driven by GPS, and you've got to be get the movements and the tracking on target. But a lot of people don't really know what are the small minimum requirements of space and being outside, those kinds of things. So do you want to talk a little bit about the metrics and that and the tracking?
Sure. So we actually initially we thought this is an easy job, but later we found there is actually a lot of work in. The first challenge is how can we be sure the player is actually moving. He's not riding a bike or is not in the car. There are so many ways to get the system as if you were running. And traditionally, like Strava or Fitbit, they don't do this level of anti-cheating because there's no point, because they don't give any incentives to their users. And people still can cheat in Strava, but then they're going to be pointed out by a third party. If they compete in the segment, people will point out that this is not a genuine running. But if you depend on third party, it's always got people sort of slip through the sort of the anti-cheating. So what we did is we have to really make sure that we have to use like machine learnings, GPS trackings, and motion sensor trackings to make sure that they're actually a human, not dogs, not cat. The human actually running, and that's the first challenge. And then the second challenge is because we are still having a civilian GPS. So that civilian system have an indoor accuracy of 20 meters and outdoor accuracy about 3 meters. So traditionally, if doing a like a tracking devices, you from time to time you see you're actually on somebody's roof because due to the GPS inaccuracy or the GPS degrade. We have to actually do some optimizations to make sure that people, when they actually running, they always on the street. And the distance traveled also has to be accurately measured, because people can, again, use this form run in an area where there's a lot of glasses, and that will create what is called like a GPS degrade, and create a lot of zigzags, meaning that if you run say 10 kilometers, probably the system will record 11. So we did a lot of optimizations on this side. So really to truly make this a
Hey guys, it's Young.
at least now we can do like 99.9% of ID cheating, so that this can be a long-lasting game rather than people, for let's say if they use their Strava data and they can carry 2 mobiles, they can wear 2 Fitbit and then do the run and import the data in order, so the system doesn't detect this is a duplicated set of data.
So just on that point, which is super cool, can people at the moment, if they get 2 different accounts, 2 different phones, and sets of sneakers tomorrow, can they run 2 devices at once?
They can, but then we will detect the backend will detect there's an anomaly, and then we're gonna their account. So don't do it.
Yeah, it's that's super important. Like when I beta tested it, I've talked about how I did dodgy things. I took it in vehicles, trucks, planes, just to see, whether it was doing it. So there is a good question there from Sergeant Savage, and this is what I want to know about it. What if you've got a family that might be doing it together, for example? So if I take my partner and 2 children, and we get the phones and we make a family event out of it, is that going to be problematic?
Not necessarily. So as long as not, because when you move, you carry out your sort of distinct sort of motion sort of patterns, and those motion patterns are recorded by over 10 motion sensors in the mobile. So if you're doing that on the mobile is on each respective person, then they will all have different motion patterns. Then we can say, all right, this is a group of people, not one person carry 5 phones.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I didn't actually know that. So different motion sensors in your phone, and it helps with the GPS tracking. So that is super important information for people out there. It'll be a good family device. Like I kind of think, righto, kids, let's go and earn pocket money. And you go for a run or a walk down the park, or you might kick a ball in training and all these kinds of things. So
Exactly.
big beta tomorrow. The game's based around moving to earn, and it's also got an Axie function where we can breed sneakers. So people that have the NFT, there's going to be 10,000 for season 1. They're going to be the first people that can actually breed these sneakers. Let's probably talk about the sneaker boxes a little bit, because the rarities are important. The sneaker boxes, to start off with, they've been given out to beta testers and community within STEPN. Is there still a chance that people can come in now and potentially earn some of those prizes?
Yes, so we have several ways to give away the rare sneakers up to number 10,000. And we do that. We do 1 quiz every hour in the quiz channel. And the first person that answer the quiz correctly will be granted a new NFT sneakers. And each person only win once. So we'll give away 24 pair of sneakers every day in the channel, 24/7. And then from time to time, we'll also do Meme Lord and Tweety, which are people that create nice memes and also tweet nice content for us. And we do that drawing like every 2 days.
And when does that competition run for? Until your 10,000 are done out?
Yeah. So if you divide it by 10,000 divided by 24 or 30, that's still about 300 days away. So people have a full year to win a pair of sneakers.
And let's go into those a little bit. I have linked a picture in the live chat regarding the sneaker boxes, the grey. I think you guys call them grey, whereas I've always looked at them as black. But they are the grey sneakers. They're going to be the common. There's 5 rarities of shoe boxes. At the moment, the game only has common and uncommon, and that's going to get 3 levels of sneakers out of those. Potentially, I think we did the math on that, there'll be maybe 150 rare sneakers. So people can only play the game by getting a pair of sneakers. Let's talk a little bit about that, because obviously I know a little bit. I've done several AMAs, but just for our crowd that are here, to be able to play this game, it's not actually, it is free to play, but you do need to hire a set of sneakers. So these sneakers coming out of these shoe boxes are super important. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Ewan?
Yes. So really, we actually have about 300 to 500 pair of sneakers in circulation at the moment. And this will be the seed or the genesis sneaker people need to, quote unquote breed. What we call is shoe minting. So 2 pair of sneakers, they put into the little machines, and then in 48 hours, you have a new pair of sneakers. And then you can sell it, you can lease it out, you can gift it. So basically it will be, and then this new sneaker will carry sort of a, and also there is a rare type of sneaker, which is the trainer, only 3% of drop rate. And the trainer will disregard the traveling speed. And I think we didn't mention the optimal speed involved. So you have to travel in between a certain speed and maximum returns. But for trainer, it disregards this. So which is reason is rare. So what we want to do is to encourage people to breed and then to find rare sneakers and at a higher price. And also there's 2 types of sneakers. So one is you are really high in your quality. So let's say epic quality. And the other is you have very good socket quality. And sometimes you need to do more of a selective breeding to try to incorporate the best of the socket quality and then the best of the sneaker quality. So there is something people have to study of what is the best outcome they can reach once they familiarize with the entire shoe minting system. Because if you just do randomly, you probably won't have the best result.
Yeah, definitely. I want to reiterate that from what Jorn is saying is it is important to understand the breeding system, because the only way to breed these sneakers is from getting the Genesis vintage sneakers. But then after that, the new sneakers will be mintable, will be breedable only 7 times per set of sneakers, and it becomes more expensive every time you do it. Plus, there'll be a cooldown. But depending on what type of sneakers you may personally want to run with. And also statistics become important as well, as that all the shoes have 4 different stats. And there is a little bit of a demo. Jerry has linked the demo, which actually shows the new interface that'll be active from tomorrow. And yes, there was a question regarding, is it downloadable? It will be downloadable tomorrow for both Android and Apple. So this is not only one of the first apps to come out for Solana gaming, but Apple is very hard to get at the start. You find most of the games that come out are Android only. I've tested several that are Android only. So that is super important. But the breeding system's worthwhile knowing. And there was a lot of good alpha given there. You can actually read the white paper, go into join the STEPN Discord, and then every hour have a chance to win a set of these sneakers. And from tomorrow, you'll be able to earn GST. The only people that can earn GST is if you've got sneakers and you're playing the game, because we haven't had IDOs done yet. So the IDOs, we're looking at January. Is that when we're looking for the IDOs?
So we are looking to release the investors announcement in January, and then we will proceed with the IDO in February.
IDO. Okay, so that's also GMT. Then you're going to be doing the governance coin in February as well.
That's right. That's right.
So just to reiterate on that. Sorry, Jerry, you go.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm just wondering I'm not sure if I can post the website link or the Discord link.
You'll be able to post it in
channel.
You should be able to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so just a reminder, as I didn't say it at the start, but STEPN's actually a dual token. Like a lot of the games that are coming out, they have the utility token, and that's GST. That has an unlimited number, but obviously there are deflationary mechanisms within it. It costs you to join your gems. It costs you to upgrade your sneakers, to breed your sneakers. There's plenty of tools in the system. And then you've got GMT, which is the governance token, and that's super important because it's one of the core things of STEPN is they're trying to actually make an imprint on the environment and work out and do some good things coming out of it, and donating towards charities and removing carbon offsets and all of these kinds of things. So that's important to find that out, and we'll find out a lot more information about the governance system next year. Is that right, Jorn?
Yes. So initially, our plan is the governance token holder will participate in on-chain governance by staking, and then they will vote on 5 options of donating the majority of the earning to the charity or to the carbon offsetting, or to take the profit. If they take the profit, a portion of the governance token is going to be burned. And if they're donating majority to the charity or carbon offsetting, they actually get a governance token reward. So we'll have a portion in the place where just governance. So it's really to encourage people to look at this in more of a long-term perspective, rather than just take the profit and then sell it on the swap. So there is a punishment and reward system installed.
Yeah, so I love it. I love the governance side of it. What's also simple, we'll get into some basics about the game as well. So it's worthwhile having a look at the video that Jerry's linked, and that will actually show the sneakers. And there's a few screens you'll see. There's a gem section, and then there's also a little bit of action of. It was Yawn doing the testing, I think, going and doing a walk with a set of walkers. So the game's based around your sneakers start off as level 1, and you move to earn. So depending on there's 4 different types of sneakers. You get walkers, joggers, runners, and the trainers. The trainers, all of those stats are put. There's a link on the live questions. But the trainers were definitely my favourite. I love how they ignore the speeds, because if you want to do a run and then a cooldown, you don't have to change sneakers. And they earn in between, but every day you get a certain amount of energy, and then that goes towards leveling up sneakers. You use that energy, that gives you a earning of GST, and then you need to repair your sneakers as they take damage, and then they upgrade. So how fast do you think, I'll put this question to Jerry as this goes towards more of the gameplay. Jerry, how fast do you think people are going to be able to level up their sneakers as of tomorrow with the new app?
How fast? People can usually we design that people can get the sneaker to the top level in a month, and if we actively use the app 4 or above times a week, and excuse me, and then people will get the breeding privilege in level 5, after level 5, which will be done very quick in 3 days. So people can try most functions after level 5. Then they can open the gemstone. They can insert the gemstone into the slots. Then try the gem system. Super easy.
So with the breeding, at level 5 we can start breeding these sneakers. Does that mean there's going to be a cooldown that the sneakers are unusable for a certain period of time?
Initially, we're going to install.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Initially, we're going to install a 48 hours cooldown, so both parents will not be able to breed sneakers, because there's like a little head strategy in Axis. You have 1 to A, B, C axis, and then you breed between A and B. You got a D, and D and C. You got an E, and you keep breeding. So that means you actually can sort of skip that sort of exponential cost. But and then you can see what happens. Their token price starting to, because they breed too much. We want to put a bit of control in this, and so we'll have a cooldown involved, and which is to the both parents, so they cannot do this head trick.
Yeah, but you can still use it for running walking. You just breed again. Yeah.
Oh, so it's just a breeding cooldown. You can still use your daily energy.
Yes.
So what's at the start of the game? That it starts tomorrow, and what's stopping people buying GST on the open market and then leveling up their boots straight to level 5 and breeding them off? Is there anything stopping that, or people are free to do that?
First, they have to have 2 pair of sneakers in order to do it. So they have to buy. Let's say they have 1 pair, they have to buy another one of Magic Eden, and then they can transfer both to the game. Take about a day to open it, and then they can buy, say, GST in Iridium at the moment. But next year, January, we will have a built-in swap. Then people can buy that within the app. So they buy the GST, transfer to the wallet, burn that GST to level up both sneaker to level 5, and then they can start breeding. So that will take a few days, roughly.
Yeah, but more so, I mean,
then they have to wait for it.
So we can go to Radium, did you say? Is there a GST pool open already?
We'll do that right before we open the game. And people can buy or sell.
It's it's interesting to see because I mean if you can go and buy the GST, leveling your sneakers take, I think is it 5 minutes for level 2, and then 10 minutes, and then 15, and you can do all that very easy. It's just a matter of you've got to have that GST on hand.
Not being adjusted. It's being adjusted.
Can talk about it.
Okay, so do you want to talk a little bit more about that, the leveling up?
Yeah, we made some adjustment on the waiting period, and so when you level up, you have to wait like a certain time to be done, and but also you can use your GST to boost it. Basically the same as you tried in the private beta, but we made some changes on the data on the model. So, yeah, slightly different.
My gaming brain's going overtime. I like it. I do love the idea of changes from the closed beta. It's important that you did mention closed beta too. So everything we've been testing so far, you'll see 4 videos on my channel. Is it 3 or 4 videos of me actually testing it and running as well? You were going to elaborate on that?
So go back to the last point. So we cannot allow, we want to see people just burn a lot of game token, never run, and then boost the level to 30. So we still gonna want to restore some balance for people that actually did move to earn and take that time to level up their sneakers. So there will be a hard cooldown in between leveling. If you're trying to burn your way through to the top level, you'll be stuck at some point, which you can burn the tokens to proceed. You have to wait until, let's say, a day or 2 days or 3 days, which the people that actually did move to earn will start gradually to catch up. So everybody will be sort of on the same level. So I think that's really important in the beginning of the game, not to have people just pay their way through to the top level.
Yeah, pay to win. That's something that everyone has a different experience with, and pay to win it's absolutely still possible in a game like this, which is based around moving to earn. So yeah, it does make me curious about how it's all going to unfold.
They will have certain advantage and not like overkill advantage.
We did see a question earlier about the levels of rarity. So we spoke about this last night, but obviously the common, uncommon, and rare sneakers will only be available at the beginning of the game. Do you want to touch on a little bit about the epic and legendary shoeboxes, about when they'll come into play?
Okay.
Oh, sorry, sneakers.
Okay, so effectively, they are all shoeboxes. So when you produce, let's say you're doing the breeding and you produce one sneaker, you're gonna get a sneaker, you're gonna get a shoebox, and then you open that shoebox, you will receive a sneaker, and each quality of the shoebox have a different drop rate of different type or qualities of sneakers. So say you have a rare shoebox, you will have, let's say, 10% drop a common one, and then 30% drop an uncommon one, and then 30% drop a rare one, and then 10% dropping an epic one. So you see there's like a bell-shaped distribution, sort of a chance of you might receive actually lower quality, but you also might receive a higher quality. So once you get a higher quality, you can then proceed to make higher quality shoeboxes, and then going further to the epic, and then going further to the legendary. So yeah.
But at the beginning of the game, we're hard capped at rare. So 2 rare shoeboxes only mint a rare shoebox. There's no way at the game to get the epic or legendary. So I think the question kind of pertains to that is, how are we going to the final two stages of sneakers? That'll be planned down the track, yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, when something is scarce or rare, it's because it have more demand than supply, and that makes the thing sort of in scarcity or in demand. So what I'm trying to say is when we say this is a rare or an epic or legendary, they're gonna stay in that way. So meaning that you will not see that often. If you see legendary sneakers all over the place, it's no longer collectible, it's no longer valuable. It just become like a common. So it is important for us to control how many people have the rare or epic or legendary, because they have to really put some effort into the game in order to obtain that. Either you breed them or you buy your way through to get them. But so in talk about the rarities, I think it's more healthy in that way, because people have to work in that goal, and once you achieve it, you're actually gonna do a lot better to people's body and health, because they're probably gonna have run or exercise a lot to achieve that status.
Yeah, I like it. Let's talk a little bit about the hiring the sneakers and the rental system for people that don't know about it. So the game has an inbuilt rental system. Did you want to tackle that one, Jorn, or Jerry, do you want that?
Sure. So the rental system goes hand in hand with a credit system. So credit system is a default, a rating system of players. So everybody, when they join, they will start with a default of 2-point credit. And then they can use this credit to rent a pair of sneakers by somebody from somebody else in the marketplace. We're going to release that function in about January next year. And once they rent it, both sides have to agree how much energy you use, how many how they rent. So once they agree, the rental agreement will be done by a smart contract, and then the rent will be able to use that pair of sneakers to move to earn, and then every day when they settled, the earning will be split. 30% going to the runner and 70% going to the sneaker owners. So in that way, people even don't understand how blockchain works or don't know how to buy NFT sneakers can still participate in the game.
Yeah, so it's important highlighting the information there Jorn's just given us. So to start off with, renting these sneakers is completely free. You don't need to have any crypto. You don't need to put any money into the game. The contract is a 1-week contract, and what you're signing on an agreement is how much energy is being agreed to be used per day. So 30% the user earns, and then 70% goes to the people owning these sneakers. People have asked, does your NFT swap over? No, the NFT doesn't become the property of the user. But based on the system, did they use the energy per day? There'll be a point system, and that makes renting your sneakers out either easier or harder the following times. So bad actors in the system won't be able to operate for too long because they either won't be able to rent sneakers or they'll have to buy their own set afterwards.
Yeah, but the key information about the contract is subject to change as the length of the contract and the percentage of split will depend on the bucket. So yeah, everything is subject to change.
Yeah, so I mean that's super important because even tokenomics may change as well. So this is still beta, and the team needs to work out what the optimum levels are. They want to make sure they've got a fair product out, which is good. And it's important to notice that in the beta things may actually change as well. All right, there's a good question. Couple of questions coming in. I do need to go through the questions in live stage as well. So I don't understand that, Sergeant Savage. Is the amount of sneakers capped? So is your question, is it capped how many you can have in your wallet? Because every set of sneakers you have gives you two energy more.
Yeah, so but you will have a cap on your energies. You will have a cap energy around 20, so that move for 100 minutes per day. It's a fair amount of time if you think about doing that every day.
Yeah, but I mean,
it will not be a cap. Yeah, go ahead.
You plan on adding in marathons, so people are going to need to have that higher cap, aren't they?
So the marathon is a whole different story because we're trying to make each stat or attribute in the sneaker valuable in different scenarios. For a marathon, it's actually the durability. It is very important because if people run 20K for an ordinary, let's say, uncommon sneaker, it will probably down in 8 kilometers. And because of that, you are no longer earning like a leaderboard point. So you're going to need like a sneaker with really high durability to sustain that 40 to 21 kilometers of marathon. So again, it becomes like a selective breeding. If you see a sneaker that with really high durability, probably that's good for people taking the marathon. And if you see a sneaker with a very high sort of luck value, which would be good for people actually want to buy it and then list it out to people that do the running. Because with a higher luck value, people actually receive like a loot box, which the runner will not receive, but the owner will receive.
Yeah, I cover that in my videos. It is super important to understand the four statistics because you've got efficiency, luck, resilience, and what's my fourth one?
Comfortability.
Comfortability, that's right. So comfortability gives you different buffs. You get short-term, long-term buffs and stuff like that. So the big one to remember is the luck system. So luck gives you the loot boxes, and they can be open to give gems, maybe sneakers, maybe a little bit of game currency. But if you rent those sneakers out, the owner of the NFT actually receives those loot boxes. So I think you'll find there will be a lot of owners getting out there and trying to rent them out, which is cool. You can agree to rent them or not, and that is a good system. So with the three modes, there's three modes coming out in the game. We've got single player, we've got marathon, and there's a background mode. Do you guys want to talk about the three different modes a little bit?
Yeah, so the solo mode basically will be a more of a PvE environment. So you compete against yourself, almost like playing golf. Every time you're trying to be better than the last run you did. And then on the online marathon, people participate in the marathon trying to compete and win like leaderboard prizes. And you have to pay a registration fee for that. But if you complete the marathon, the fee will be returned. And if you didn't complete the marathon, your fee goes to the winner prize pool. And then the background mode is really to encourage people to at least move 3,000 steps a day. And we give like a very small portion of earning, which is really just playing the background. People don't need to open their apps. They can just have the app installed of the background. They don't need to open that every day. They can earn like a very, very small portion of game token every day if they have the sneakers. It's basically just a way for people that don't bother to do like 10-minute running or walking every day or don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, it's really interesting with the background mode, 3,000 steps. That's the bit, but it does no durability damage to your sneakers. So just by owning an NFT, having it in your wallet, and in your game wallet, you'll actually have a small earning in the game. So it is super interesting to see that come in, even if you aren't going for a specific run. So the leaderboard, we've heard that really mentioned.
To make the whole...
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. Oh, it's really to make people use the app to have more people included in our ecosystem, and that's the reason we developed the background mode.
Yeah, I just love it because it's actually a small earning as well. So even if you've done your full daily run and you've used all of your energy, you can still complete those 3,000 steps in background mode. That's a good question there from Anarius. I've got a couple from Anarius. What will happen to the NFT airdrops that aren't claimed by the 22nd? So Anarius, you've got 2 days from the 20th to the 22nd. If you don't activate those sneakers, they'll basically go old and mouldy in the shoebox. So you've got 2 days, otherwise they're going to be unusable after that. And it's important to get them out. But will background mode be available if you rent out your sneakers? That is a good question.
You will have to have one pair of sneakers in your inventory in order to activate that.
So when you rent your sneakers out, because Sergeant Savage had one there too, when renting, does the NFT leave in your wallet? And then the renter, the user, do they just get an icon in their wallet?
I believe so, and Jerry can elaborate on that point.
Yeah, okay. When you rent a sneaker out, you will see you have in renting, and the renters can see the sneaker and can use it, but he cannot upgrade or do any changes on the sneaker, and the system will deduct the daily earning to repair the sneaker automatically, so you don't have to worry about
That's cool.
the job
I
of
like that.
Resilience. So so it's pretty simple for both sides, the renter and the owner, and also the sneaker will be held by the smart contract. So
I
during
see.
the renting, so no one actually own it, and until the owner claim it back.
Okay, so that's super important information there. That answers that question nicely. So you can't do background mode and rent a set of sneakers at the same time.
You can still do the background mode. The runner can do it.
No, the person that's actually that renting it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right. So
Actually, the background mode is not released at the moment, and more details will be published later. So another 2 to 4 weeks.
That's cool. So we're looking at possibly maybe February at the latest. There is a question here from Constructive Avidness. What advantages does the Season 1 club role, the NFT which you get, given to the bearers over the rest of the players? So apart from getting the sneakers from your shoebox and the Season 1, is there any other advantages for having that Season 1 tag?
It's really about the collectability of the sneakers, because for all the Season 1, they will be number between 1 to 10,000 into, say, breeding new sneakers. And you will see the serial number will be like scrambled. And it will be more like, like in, let's say in Axie Infinity, top 100 issue number of Axie are all selling at very high prices. It's more, and also will display in the future how many kilometers the sneaker has been used to run or walk. So it's another sort of a collectible feature that people can trace. Say the sneaker has to run like 1,000K or 2,000K, for example. And naturally, people with the higher issue number, the lower issue number sneaker will have the sort of advantage, basically to start early.
It's for people that don't know this. Yawn is actually a mad hardcore World of Warcraft player. So it's funny when you talk about the kilometers run. I just think of like a slash played time out of World of Warcraft. There's so many parallels I see that you've drawn from being a traditional gamer as well, and put them into this game. You've put a lot of thought process into the gems and adding those in, and that reminds me of the old jewel crafting from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I still have jewel crafting when it first came out, and in the Burning Crusade.
Yeah. There was one here. We did have a lot of questions asked about the Fitbits and that, and they have been asked and answered before. Fitbits, and that won't be used initially at the start. The team need to get the MVP out and make sure that that's fully workable. So the aim is to eventually add those in, and even potentially different sneakers for different sports. But where is it? Has there been any work done? No, I've asked that. Oh, okay, here, sorry. What are some of the challenges you had to get in getting the step data used by the game to calculate the activity?
So really, I think there was a step counter, and then there was a gyroscope, and there was a gravity vector sensor. So that's, I think, the three main sensors we use to calculate how many steps the player has moved.
Next.
And we actually have to get a special license in order to extract this data from players' mobile, granted by Apple and Google. You cannot just go into people's health data and then looking for the sensors you want to use. Actually, we have to be compliant to do it.
What effect does it have on the game when players have been earning GST by a little bit? Sorry, I'm just trying to read the next question as well. I regulate that. So we've got a question from Matavan regarding the GST and the GMT. At the start of the game, we get these sneakers released, and there's going to be a very limited amount of GST and GMT available, basically through people earning. And a lot of that is going to be burnt early because people will be upgrading their sneakers, gems, and getting those done. So when the IDOs come out in January and February, potentially, do you think that's going to impact the game where all of a sudden there's going to be this huge explosion of available coins?
Not necessarily, because when we do the IU or IDO, that's going to be exclusively to the governance token. And the governance token will be used for, but it will be used for toward the later stage of the game where people are needing the governance token to the top level, and they need to burn the governance token. So when everybody are hitting level 30, they will starting to buy governance token.
Yeah.
And the way the token release in a way that will control, we will do roughly 3% in initial circulation, and they will add 1% every month to make sure that the release is very mild, and you will sort of counterbalance the demand. Once we balance the demand and supply over the time, when people are burning more than we release, we're starting to see the deflationary supply happen. So to answer your question, there will not be a lot of token in circulation for both the GST and the GMT. We'll do that in more of a controlled environment.
No, it's good. There was another good question here regarding, have you looked at using a heart rate monitor for possibly disabled people? This is a good question because it links back to a couple of weeks ago. You talked about potentially doing something with disability in Australia.
Yeah.
So is that what you're looking at?
So we will look at the same time when we're starting to research on wearables. And I mean, people wearing the wearables will be able to get more biometric data, and some of them basically will be helpful for us to deduce if the player are actually exercising or if they are doing different things. So, but again, we're also going to get machine learning and artificial intelligence involved, which will be a sort of within our team will be a cross-department sort of collaboration between the AI team and then the hardware team.
All right, so I mean that is awesome because obviously you guys love your events and being able to help and support local things as well. So in Australia, we've already had events running in Adelaide, South Australia. Let's talk about the leaderboard a little bit. So there will be a leaderboard coming out possibly by the end of this month.
Yes, so that is down the plan. So we wanted to do firstly a leaderboard just for exclusive, say, Grapes community for people that can participate, and people will receive like a trial sneaker or a sample sneaker, and then they can participate on the leaderboard, and people come on the top will receive the real NFT sneakers as a prize. And once we are rolling out this successfully, and then we can sort of replicate this to different other communities for people to join with a sample sneaker to start the game, and then if they are really active on top of the leaderboard, they will be able to win a pair of sneakers, and then we can do this like cross-community competition as well.
I like that. So you get like a timer of 48 hours on sneakers for an event. Do that event at the end of it, the timer expires, and you have a leaderboard, and winners potentially win some NFTs.
Exactly.
That's a cluey idea. I like that. Great. The challenge will be out there for DAOs and for different platforms to actually have teams and something so basic as moving to earn. That's super cool. Tie in. Is there anything that we've not touched on, Yorn? We go to live beta tomorrow. You guys have done basically 2 complete upgrades with the version that's coming out, because we've gone from version 3 to 5, I think. Is there anything important that you wanted to touch on that I've missed?
I think we have mentioned everything. So really, if people want to participate in the game, there are NFT sneakers for sale by people that win the quiz or competitions that selling them on Magic Eden, and they can grab a pair and then starting to move around.
So yeah, that's right. And keep in mind, people, you've still got time to actually join STEPN, join up their Discord, actually get in, have a read of the white paper. They want people involved. They want to be giving out sneakers to the crowd and the community. And this is something I love, bringing these kinds of things to stage of these great products building. It's also worth noting that, and I'll do a link for it, is they've actually donated the first set of sneakers to DFA Academy. And that's a sponsorship program that we've been running from Grape, and we got them a mobile phone, and STEPN have given them a NFT, so they can actually start playing with the game and the app while they're training at soccer and earning currency. It's super exciting, and I know DFA did want to be here today, but he unfortunately couldn't make it. But I'd like to thank STEPN for that, for starters, and it's super amazing to see some real world events happening as well in South Australia. There was there was a 6-hour marathon they did, which is impressive, and it went towards domestic violence in Australia, and that was cool. The mountain climbing event was pretty big as well, wasn't it, Yorn?
Yeah, it's about 300 people showed up, which is a big one.
So I'll link that the video in Discord. I'm getting a bit of fat fingers here at the moment, but that was super impressive. We look forward to it. It's so cool to be able to see Web 3.0 coming in. There was a question here from Rao, which was talking about Web 3.0. Benefits why government is coming in some crypto regulations. I think it's pertaining to why are you expecting that people will use this app when there's uncertainty in crypto, uncertainty in the government's regulations of crypto? Do you think that's going to be a major problem at the start?
Not necessarily, because we're still going to start with a crypto native community and then branch it out to the where the regulation is more lenient, like in Southeast Asia, and because the regulation is always sort of issue when, let's say, exchange is pushing out to, let's say, U.S. market or the ban in China, but we will get our foot in the places where regulation is more friendly to cryptos, and because regulation change. We see that there was Chinese ban on crypto back in September 2017, and then the ban again on the May of 2021, and then the ban again on the October of 2021. So
yeah,
if they can ban this, they probably going to succeed in the first attempt. So there will still be people using decentralized app. Doesn't matter the governance ban. But from our perspective, we're gonna grow in where the regulation is more friendly to us, and then once we can then branch it out to other places.
So are there going to be countries in the world at the moment that can't use this app, like China, for example?
I don't think you can use Google App Store in China anyways. In China,
you gotta be very careful.
Yes.
On this question.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
sorry,
China,
it is a semi-loaded question. It's more so. I don't want to target one particular country, but you see IDOs can't be done in a lot of worlds. America has a lot of problems with their SEC
Yes.
and that. So, are there going to be limitations on some countries potentially?
It will be limitations, but by reading what SEC has disclosed, so if you are raising funds from retail investors, you are subject to this security law, and actually giving away tokens. and for people to move to earn, and then they can swap. So effectively, we are not selling anything.
Yep.
So that's sort of thing. If we are giving things away and people using the thing to make money, there's no loss for the players to participate.
Yeah, plus also the background mode, that's not a royalty either. That's based on moving 3,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. That's good.
We see other like move to earn apps. Let's say Swipe. They have started about 2019, and they were able to scale 40 something countries, and they are using almost the same sort of mechanics that you earn points, and then this point can be swapped into certain merchandise. And if we put aside the crypto, it's still the same mechanics, but we involve more gamifications, we involve tokenomics, and to make it more sort of more robust, because really you can't earn anything in Swipecoin.
Yeah. I guess talking about other apps, we had GenoPets, which is the other Solana move to earn game. And I don't touch on this enough, but 41,000 entries for their IDO. Not IDO, they did the event for getting a ticket to be able to get one of their first 2,333, I think it was. So do you guys see that as a competition, or do you see it as a benefit for the whole space?
Not much of a competition from our perspective, because actually when we firstly go into the market, when we first started in August, I think that's when Genopact first did their private sales. So they are roughly about 4 months ahead of us, and we actually see their progress. We've actually checked their product. I think it's a two different sort of type of game. We are actually trying to get more the non-crypto people onboarding, versus Genopact. I think it's more of like a Pokemon Go version of let's say move to earn. We're trying to be more like a running tracker sort of version of the move to earn.
Yeah, it's an important question, because I mean 41,000 people is obviously an impressive amount. How much of that was botted, I'm not sure, but I see it as bullish, the way I see it, because at the moment you can play both games. You'll be able to play both at once. So if someone gets invested into GenoPats, then they're going to be thinking, what else can I do at the same time?
Yeah.
And as crypto people, we like to utilize and maximize that time, don't we?
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna see, because they will be once they release their game. I think they now doing the mobile version now rather than on the PC, which is good. So so we'll start our own project first. Apparently, we're gonna roll it out tomorrow, and then once Genopact hit the market, people actually can earn twice. Yeah,
I'm not sure whether they're launching completely to mobile, but you track all your data is going to be on Fitbits and devices, watches and stuff like that. The game itself should be still playable on computer, I thought, but they're a bit different. You can actually go to the gym and do workouts at the gym, work on treadmill, and that affects how their pet sort of. It is very Pokemon Go centric, but I foresee it as good for both companies, that there is that competition out there. I mean, also it's super expensive to buy a GenoPet egg, whereas at the moment you can get them free at STEPN. You can become a part of the community and earn an NFT sneaker.
Yeah. So I mean, like the DeFi project we see in the early of this year, there's so many swaps. You have sushi swap, you have different type of food swap, and they all sort of survive okay along with each other. So currently we only have two move to earn. If we prove the concept works, we're probably going to see more on the track.
So I guess it's worth reiterating some of the points from the day. Is there's going to be 10,000 sneaker boxes. To get those, you needed to be beta testing in the closed beta testing or part of the community now, reading the white papers, answering. There's meme competitions. There are competitions. There's still chances to join at any stage, but it goes open beta from tomorrow, and you can earn GST. You'll actually be able to earn a very small amount of GMT as well, potentially through loot box drops. But super exciting day for you guys. What do you think? How's it going to go? Are you prepared for tomorrow?
I think it's well prepared because, like Jerry mentioned yesterday, this is his like 11th game really, so he's pretty calm about it.
Are you getting sleep, Jerry? How's your last few days coming up to launch day tomorrow been?
Yeah, super excited. Yeah, I was doing the running test 2 a.m. in the morning with John, as I mentioned yesterday. So yeah, so many I mean, yeah, but it's all good for us. It's all good for us. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of the leaderboards. I like the fact that DAOs and other projects will be able to talk to you guys. Have you got any partnerships with any of these big metaverses coming out? So we see things like Rumble World, Savannah, Really is another big one. There's lots and lots of metaverses. So have any approached you guys that you can talk about?
We have some pretty big sneaker brand come to us and looking for collaboration. Actually, more so. We are now in the process of working out a plan with them. And because now it's Christmas season, and basically they told me that they're quite busy selling all their physical sneakers. But once they conclude, let's say the New Year Eve, or and they will come back to us. We're gonna come up with a plan of, because we see there's a lot of sneaker brands, they are releasing their NFT sneakers.
Yeah.
But what is the use case? There's none. They collect the NFT sneaker as a collectible. But for these people to really have a presence in the Web3, they have to have their sneaker to put them in use.
Yep.
And we believe that our app will be the first use case for this sneaker brand to make their first presence in the Web3. And then they can do their PRs of how they can step into sort of the Web3 world.
Yeah, we had a very big, prominent American basketballer join up on coming to Solana. How do you feel about that? That'd be pretty good news for you guys.
Yeah, so we were starting to roll out like KOL, reaching out to them, starting from after we released the public beta, because we still want to keep it in control, because we don't know what kind of bug we have. We still need to make the adjustment. So once we have the whole spec, let's say in a month's time, then we'll start to reach out to the basketball players, or the in crypto KOLs in athletics or running, to invite them to try the product, maybe do some NFT sneaker airdrops. So yeah, so we're starting to grow once we are certain that the concept works, and everything works in the game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm super bullish. I've bought extra pairs of sneakers off the marketplace myself, so you can get that from Magic Eden. And I don't want to say, this isn't financial advice, because you can actually become a part of the community. So you can go and earn a set of these sneakers for free. I got my free set, and then I went and bought more afterwards, because I'd like to be able to get to level 5 and breed them and test it all out. Old Barndog wants a set of trainers. They were definitely my favourite in the beta testing. We are getting on the hour, so we'll probably wrap this up. But are there any questions, any hands raised? C-Class Gibbons, by all means, put your hand up. Any questions for the crew before we knock off? Being able to win a sports person's design sneaker would be good. You could do one-of-ones, I guess, or do you mean like a specific Michael Jordan set of sneakers, for example, given away by STEPN to a community as a prize for an event or something?
Okay, so we will roll out like a one-out-of-one sneaker design for charity fundraising, and then we can say, all right, we donate the proceeds to a certain charity, and then we give that pair of sneakers, say, to the winner of the auction, for example. And the sneaker could be from a celebrity, for example, that reminds of SBF, from a couple days ago. And I mean, effectively, you can make a sneaker out of that and put on auction, and then donate that to the Constitution DAO. something like that.
Yeah, that is cool. I like the idea of that. I mean, there are plenty of sneakerheads out there as well. People collect sneakers. It's a funny thing.
Yes,
So,
yes. So so we'll have special design, like seasonal design as well. So people will not only to have the normal season for Super 5, but we also have like holiday seasonal release. We'll have like a charity special release, and there's so many things we can do with sneakers.
all right. Well, we'll come close. And Rao has asked, is there's any benefit for being on top of the leaderboard? Jorn did say that there will be bonuses for people winning these leaderboards for being on top. It's also worth noting that STEPN will be a dual NFT system as well, because we didn't really touch on it, but there's going to be bonus NFTs given away for badges. Is that right, Jorn?
It's actually trail NFT. So we have the gem system, which people can level up their gems and insert into the sneakers. And also we have a badge system, which, again, we learned that from World of Warcraft, where you can meet a achievement and win a mount special tasks. And we'll make this into NFTs and reward people that provide in-game.
I've invited you to stage, Sergeant Savage. A lot of this stuff comes from World of Warcraft. I love it. I love how it all ties into WoW. There is one question here. If shoes come from airdrops, where does the trading liquidity needed for the first tokens come from? I don't think they completely need trading liquidity, but do you want to touch on that one, Jorn?
Of the trading liquidity of the sneakers or the GST?
The first tokens, the GST.
Yeah. We'll provide the liquidity in the Radium.
All right, Sergeant Savage, what have you got?
Just wondering if, obviously, your main aim in it is for walking and running, exercising. Are you looking at branching into other avenues of exercise and move to earn, say, gym, incorporating that, so people on treadmills and that sort of thing?
We use outdoor GPS because it is very difficult for people to fake the GPS data. And also, once we can cross-reference the GPS with their motion sensors, we can pretty much detect almost less than 99% of the cheat happen in the game. But if we do it through the treadmill, we are left only with the biometric data. So can we do it? We don't know. We have to do some more in-depth research on wearables, while the biometric data make up for the lack of GPS. If it can make up, and we see no way that people can cheat the biometric data, then of course we're starting to say, all right, we're probably going to do it on the treadmill. But if we say people the biometric data or the wearables, then we will limit this to walk or run at outdoor environment, because we don't want to exploit this and then cause massive claims. Yeah, so that's the last thing we want to see.
Yeah. Yeah. And with you were saying that people can host like an event. How do they actually go about doing that? Do they go through you guys and then you do like a marathon event, or is this purely going to be things that you guys organise in different states and countries?
Okay, so for the special event, let's say for the charity event, we see when the opportunity come, we probably just roll out like an ad hoc charity event, and we'll let people know that. And for the marathon event, we'll do the regular weekly or monthly marathon for 2, 5, 10 kilometers, and everybody can participate by paying a registration fee. And for the real deal, like a 42 kilometers or marathon, we have to run that through the actual marathon organizer. So people have to register because you're going to need medical attentions in case of over exercise. So the real, say the 42 or 21 kilometer marathon, we can do it, but we'll do it in collaboration with the like actual marathon. Okay. And so that will be again more on a talk situation. So once we can secure, say, a sponsorship in a marathon, and then people can start to join that marathon physically and participate.
Thank you, Sergeant. I think we're going to wrap it up there, team. We've gone well over the hour. It's been a good one. There's so much information that we've kind of even thinking about it now is there's so much to find out about this. Have a good detailed read of the white paper. It's important. The game is fairly progressed as to what you can actually achieve from it. It's not a simple you put sneakers on and go for a run and earn money. There's a lot of things like quality of sneakers. You get 5 different types. You've got statistics to have a look at. You might have a very high common set and a very low uncommon set, and the common set might actually be better. So there is lots to look at. There's gems to go into it. You know, when you make these gems, it costs you GST. All of these things are NFTs and tradable on the marketplaces. They'll have an inbuilt wallet app, inbuilt wallet people can use and trade, and they'll be having a marketplace for people to trade as well. So they are going to be able to be taken off and into another marketplace, but eventually I think you'll find it will be the biggest way of getting it will be in the game. But there's lots of information available, not just in my own YouTube. There's multiple YouTubes for it. The team's always happy to answer questions in their Discord. I'll give a link as well. Have you got any closing thoughts, Jorn?
I think it's pretty comprehensive AMA today, and we're looking for the product release tomorrow.
Release tomorrow. And Jerry, did you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah. I'm all good for now. And can you please choose? Can you please make a screenshot and choose 3 lucky members, and so they can join our community and claim them.
Oh yeah, I'll take a screenshot now. That's awesome. Let me link that off. But I think we will close it down there. I'll close the stage chats up shortly. I'll link out an invite to the Discord. And we do have prizes to hand out tonight. I'll be contacting winners. I really appreciate all these questions. We had some great questions from the crowd. Thank you for coming on stage, Sargent, as well. Lots and lots of information to check, and I really look forward to tomorrow, and I wish you guys the best of luck, Jorn and Jerry.